good when you're undressed. I heard you like to get away. I heard you like to stay out late. I heard you had it cupped out of control, and all the boys say she was sent from the heavens. But I'm not too sure that this girl is a blessing. She's got the devil's eyes and they'll cut you like a weapon. She's stuck in my mind like a bad obsession. Got bad intentions. She got a body like a cold thing. She likes to keep the party going.
Stop in the pit lane.
Communication. It started out as a conversation between two people, but as time went by and people's needs became greater, they developed more ways to communicate. Businesses today need to minimize incomplete connections. Therefore, it is critical that they provide optimal service. Xilinx desktop, mobile and web applications can process everything from normal calls and callbacks to chats, emails, and social media inquiries. Let Xilinx liberate your business.
Hvorhen? Gotta see it.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
welcome. Yeah, welcome to GTR 24H 2019 and the wonderful, wonderful arena we've got here in Viborg Handball Club, welcoming us for the first year, hopefully many-year relationship. And there's going to be 5 of us commentating, make it actually 6.
Six
Make it
indeed.
6 of us commentating. You've got myself, Neil Heatley.
Ossian Puhakka, because you can't pronounce my name.
I couldn't even hear your name. I'm Lewis McLeod.
I'm Adam Ward.
And I'm Nick Newcomb, cuddling into Aiden.
Help.
And I'm Jess Shanahan.
Oh, right. That's all of us.
It is. Right, I'm sitting down.
It's your game working, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully this year the 6 of us will take you through qualifying at some point.
Aye.
Tomorrow, yes, Saturday. And then the race, which of course begins on Saturday at 3 p.m.
2 qualifying sessions as well.
2 qualifying sessions happening, 2 sessions of 2 hours each.
Oui.
1 during the day and 1 during the night to make sure that all the drivers get experience of both conditions, because of course that is incredibly important in a 24-hour race.
Aye.
Indeed. So, I mean, you got some drivers who are maybe not so experienced here in our conditions, but most of the drivers, honestly, top class in the world.
It's a tricky test, isn't it, Le Mans?
It is. It is.
I
absolutely.
would get Nick's opinion on this, but he's busy.
Yeah.
I can give my opinion. I raced at Le Mans, so
So
no.
Yeah, I've driven the circuit. It's fine, I know how to do this.
Yeah, I know how to do this. I mean, it's a tricky experience because it looks so easy. Like, people think, okay, Le Mans, it's so very easy. It is not. It's anything but easy. One of the things I think we need to ask Nick about later, actually, is the importance of setup here and how you need to make the car balanced properly, just right, just so you can take those corners, but also absolutely fly on the straights, because that is what you're going to need. Fly like the Viborg HK has flown in the European League and Danish League in the handball.
Yeah, well, what you've got to do.
Wonderful
Nice
reference
plug there, by the way. Very well done.
Plug.
The most important thing, though, is not like to build the fastest car, but build a car that you can repeat the lap time in again and again and again, right? Because the thing is, if you have a car that's really, really quick, normally on that side you're balancing the car more on the oversteer, aren't you? Which is
Yeah, because it wants to rotate on the front of it more.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, it's much, much quicker. The problem with that is, though, is naturally the car is more unstable, it wears its tyres more, it becomes more unpredictable through the stint, and you've got to get between like 3, 4, 5, whatever drivers into the car comfortable on a tricky setup, which is just like a big no.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see here in these practice sessions already that later we're going to see in the practice, we're going to see finally in the qualifying also that how are these teams doing at this present moment. Because some of the drivers have never been in land conditions. They have never been in a live arena, on a live event. That's a big change to being able to be okay, some say that it's in your basement, but honestly in your living room or wherever, in your dedicated sim racing area. That
You're not going to have your little mini fridge next to your computer or your coffee machine or whatever. You're way outside your comfort zone, as far outside your comfort zone as you could possibly be.
Apart from those that have really prepared and come with the ridiculous pit boots that we've got. They're pretty comfy.
Yeah,
We've got camping beds. That's dedication.
That is. Do you think we can use them later?
I'm just going to take. I'm not going to bother asking.
Yeah, if you don't ask first, that means they can't refuse.
Exactly.
Finders keepers.
Well, come on, you can't be rude. We're out here, working for everyone. You can't be rude to that. Come on.
I mean, you can.
They will be, for sure.
I mean, some teams probably have been importing Danish dairy products for 2 months just so they can use the local flavor. And as such, like, don't have
Unsubscribe to everything and then resubscribe.
There we go.
Yeah, unsubscribe. And then
Yep.
We're back?
Yeah,
we are back.
we are.
I think
There we go.
I think someone stepped on a cable.
Oh, that's not going to happen. Well, I mean, with all this, I'm not surprised.
We are going to have to do some cable tidying because that is
I think
mental.
that might be our job later.
I think, but I think if you get a lot of tape, right, you can just
Bundle it.
tape all of it and then just ignore it, right?
I mean, that's the best way to do things.
Exactly.
Just watch it, then just hope it holds for
It's the British way.
May I just say, please do not take any advice from the EEWC commentators. Take them from the technical team instead, because the advice we give for you in cable management is absolutely off.
Yeah, but
the
they're
racing
very-
advice is absolutely excellent, but the advice from cable management is absolutely awful. Neil, what you got here?
Yeah, so unsubscribe.
I'm just checking for social media. But yes, what they were talking about earlier about the setup, and obviously we've got drivers. Some of these teams are doing this 24-hour race with only 3 drivers. I think I was having a look at the entry list. One of the teams is actually doing 6 drivers. And at that point, you've got to obviously have a setup that is stable for everyone. But the more people you have, the more different driving styles you've got, and therefore perhaps the more stable your setup needs to be, and thus not as fast.
No, it's not. And we got some teams that have raced together for a long, long time. Like, you know, those guys who have been racing together for 2, 3, 4, 5 years maybe. Like couple of championship teams basically here. They're gonna have a huge advantage over the teams that's gonna have, for example, last-minute replacements, or someone more local, because someone from America, for example, couldn't make the race because of the simple, like,
distance
difference. Yeah, indeed. Oh, we're gonna talk about jet lag later, but like distance difference, and you gotta get used to these all these conditions. One driver wants a car like Kimi Räikkönen, which is basically like very responsive front, very stiff brakes, like very stiff everything. Another guy is gonna want a lot of mechanical grip. How do you make mechanical grip work on a car that's supposed to be aerodynamically as slippery as possible? You don't. So you're gonna have to end up with a compromise. And when you are competing in a field like this, in a world-class event, which has World Championship in the name, so which means it's top of the ladder, which means that you're gonna have to be absolutely on it for the full 24 hours in order to win this race. How are you gonna win it with a compromise? You don't. So that's gonna take a lot of preparation, and thankfully soon we are able to see first glimpse of those teams who are brave enough not to fill their car with sandbags.
Yes, and that is something very important. Of course, the server has been open for a number of months now, actually I think since the last race in Spa, which was August. So it's been open for a couple of months now, and we've been hosting Friday night practice sessions as well. But again, even though these are broadcasted and you often get 30 plus cars, obviously duplicates of some cars because teammates want to drive at the same time, we might actually be seeing how quick some of these teams can go for the very first time, exactly what you said. And you know, I made some predictions there in my book, which is back in the hotel room. I've got predictions written down.
We need to do those later tonight. Like, we need to do those at some point and put them in a hat, so you can't actually make up predictions on the go during the live broadcast and then change them up, like a heel commentator on pro wrestling.
No, you've got. Yeah, so perhaps you can do them before qualifying. Before qualifying, definitely put down who is going to win the race. I've got them written down already. These guys, perhaps.
Can I just say mine live? Who is going to win the race? VRS and the SimSport. It's easy. I've been following those guys around for a couple of years since their days when they were not even called a SimSport. Like, they've been doing this for almost 10 years now. And it's a solid group that's really close together. You know, I was watching them live in Finland back in January this year, and they were the only team with a dedicated crew chief. They had a top-notch equipment, same equipment they're using here in Denmark, and you know, they have a top-notch team that's very close knit together. The only problem is that one of their star drivers, well, they're all star drivers, but one of their like really top rising young guns, Joni Takanen, is not able to drive because his wrist is really, really badly injured. So he's the one-handed thief, basically. One-handed robber but he's not from Vegas. That's the only difference. So he's gonna be the crew chief, but those guys are, like, honestly, put the name down right now and say, you can blame me if they don't win. Actually, blame them.
Yeah, they're in the hypercar class for that one, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, for the hypercar class, if I remember correctly from my book, I think I put down the B32 number 11 to win the hypercar class, mainly because we've got Bora Milan in the squad, and he is an absolutely incredible driver, can just pump out incredibly fast, consistent laps for a number of hours, and I think he's going to be the base for that team. So for the hypercar class, I'm going to go for the B32 number 11.
That's an interesting prediction. Let's see how it pans out for those guys. And I feel like I'm at the Octo. Remember the move? Yeah, dodgeball.
Yeah.
Let's see how it pans out for those guys. Interesting strategy. Do you think we're gonna see big differences between the top teams, or it's just gonna be basically the pit cycle thing and take tires every 2-3 stops, or do you think we're gonna see some teams who are going into the night basically trying to do the night on 2 sets of tires?
It's fairly interesting because of mainly fuel for these hypercars. You can go flat out and do a stop every hour.
Yeah.
Or, well, perhaps it's a stop every hour at most tracks. Le Mans is obviously a little bit different because so much of it is flat out, so much of it is through full throttle. But at most tracks in the hypercar, you can do an hour and 5 minutes per tank, although you are able to stretch it to about an hour and 20 minutes. So the question is, will some of these teams decide to go flat out for the entire race, or will they decide to do some fuel saving at that point and try and save a stop? If I remember correctly, a full service in the hypercars is somewhere in the region of 55 seconds.
That's quite much.
Fuel only can be up to 20.
Yeah.
And that's it. So is it worth saving those 55 seconds, those 35 seconds in the stop, when you compare it to stints? At that point, when you see how much... that's a lovely slide, actually.
Yeah,
Once
it
you
is.
see how much fuel you need to save and what lap time you need to hit, round here at Le Mans, it's only going to be about 2 seconds off, which is not a lot when you're trying to fuel save.
No, but the thing is that Le Mans, as you touched on there right in the end, is a very, very, very easy track to save fuel on. Like you got these long straights, you can basically brake at the 150 marker coming into the first and second chicane on the back straight, or you can save at lift off at 250 or 300, lose almost nothing because you're going so fast anyway, and then brake a little bit later and make up the difference, and you're saving a lot of fuel each and every lap. Like that's one of those things. Also traffic, it's gonna be a thing, traffic management. We're gonna talk about like we're a driving instructor. But as in driving school, also in sim racing, you have to deal with traffic management. It's a multi-class rule. And like there, if you have the gift of foresight, also known as good racecraft in multi-class, you are going to save a lot of fuel just in traffic alone when you realize, okay, that's a door that's going to close, he hasn't seen me, right, what am I going to do? Lift off early behind the GD car, obviously talking hypercars there, and lift off early behind the GD car and just let him take this corner, go past them on the exit anyway and save a little bit of fuel here. So okay, you're gonna lose time compared to going at the corner full tilt, but you also have the benefit of saving a little bit of fuel also. So it's a bit of trade-off as opposed to a complete loss.
Yeah, and with these, we've got 4 classes here. We've got the McLaren Senna GTR, the Hyperclub class. We've got the LMP2s, we've got the GTEs and the GT3s. And once you actually get the time difference around Le Mans between the hypercars and the GT3s, for example, it's the best part of 35-40 seconds a lap difference between the two of them. And obviously they've got drastically different top speeds. I think the hypercar can get up to about 320, 330 kilometers an hour or so, if I remember correctly. You can just have a look, just having a look at the moment at the
There's a red here.
car. Yeah, that they're reaching 283. So there's going to be a 40 kilometre an hour, 45 kilometre an hour difference at the end, coming down to both chicanes and coming up towards Indianapolis as well. So these closing speeds, although it doesn't sound that much because 40 kilometres an hour is what you usually do the time, for example.
Yeah, that's what I do when I go for a morning jog.
Yeah. It doesn't sound that much, but actually when you're driving, and especially coming up to Indianapolis, that is an incredible speed difference.
It is. And it can come so quickly because a lot of drivers will have to get used to the look of a hypercar coming in their window mirrors. Like they're used to the LMP1 cars, and they're used to the P1s and the prototypes looking cars. But you see a Senna in your mirror, and with a quick glance, you might think, okay, that's GT. And then just goes past you. Like it's an absolutely beautiful thing, an absolutely beautiful race car, and I couldn't be happier to see those cars here at this ring, like
Yeah.
at Le Mans, because it's just absolutely a beautiful spectacle. And I'm really excited for the new rules.
And it's actually very interesting that you say they could mistake the Senna for a GT car, because of course the McLaren Senna was based off a 720S,
Which is a GT car.
which is a GT car, and also in this race a few teams are running the 720S as well. So that could be fairly fun occasionally, especially at night when you've just got headlights coming towards you and oh, what is that? Is it an LMP2? Is it a GT car? Oh, it's a hypercar.
Yeah, and 720S is also a good estimate of how much sleep the drivers will be getting over the weekend.
Yeah.
Roughly 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
I think it's actually 12. 720 seconds.
Was Zandvoort slightly been popular because of
yeah, it is 12
Dutch
minutes,
mega
yeah.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we also welcome some other voices to the broadcast later, or should we discuss earlier about? Not yet. That's not ready.
No, they're shaking their heads at us, saying no.
No.
For now.
Now I'm getting passed as invalid on this.
So, in the meanwhile, I mean, I'm just looking at the teams and waiting for the first proper times to come on board. I think nobody's quite comfortable yet. Of course, we have just a couple of teams on the track right now. We're gonna get some more, but they're gonna have to get accustomed to the track first, and so on and so forth.
Well, the doors were opened for all the teams at 6 o'clock Central European time, so about 2 hours 20 ago. So obviously, all the teams aren't here yet. The place will be open overnight, and of course tomorrow morning and afternoon before getting into qualifying eventually. So these teams are just making sure that they can connect to the server, also getting used to the rigs that they've got as well, because they will have their own rigs at home. You know, for these teams that have got 4 drivers, they will have 4 different sets of rigs that they all practice on. When they come here to the arena, they've got one rig to drive on for all of them. And obviously that will be different to your own, and that might just put you off a little bit.
And one thing also, that you may not have a fully adjustable rig even, and humans are not identical. Like you need, really. I'm looking at around this broadcast table, and I can already see that. Like humans are different. You may have one guy who is 6'3", built like basically like a powerlifter. Then you have a guy who is 5'5", and basically built like a piece of grass. So you know, they're gonna share the same sim rig, the same seat. I mean, you can't change seats during the pit stop time. That's just not gonna happen. No. So you're gonna have to make some compromises.
You put in a seat insert like they do in real life.
Yeah, that could be an interesting idea. But the most important thing to mention is that the race has already started in some ways, because the first teams are out here practicing, putting laps in, getting used to the conditions, making good data, while some of the teams have not even arrived to the scene yet. Like, it's already the first part of the race. They want to get here, set up good as quick as possible. Like, they want to have their stuff built. They want to be on the server as quickly as possible to get driving times for the drivers in, to get them used to the conditions, to see what's about to change, to compare their pace against other drivers. And that's a really, really, really important thing. So, I mean, we could be audible all over the arena. I don't know, I got headphones on, so I'm just gonna say, get a move on.
Yes, get a move on.
Calling all team members from outside with burning things in their hands.
But yeah, it's going to be fairly interesting, because of course with some of these teams you have said that they earlier they might have raced with each other even for 3-4 years, but this might be actually the first time where they're racing physically with each other. And again, not being able to have that fully adjustable rig, not being able to push your seat backwards and forwards, can create a big problem.
Yeah, it can be a big problem. Like, even those minor things, when you're talking about a 24-hour race, you got 4 drivers in the typical team. They're gonna spend 6 hours each in that rig. You have a minor inconvenience in that rig, like a minor thing, like something being slightly too far or slightly too close, and your leg's gonna be a bit crampy and gonna have to, after, like, you don't notice it in practice, but then after 45 minutes you're gonna notice, oh, my right leg's getting a little bit crampy on the gas pedal, my left leg's getting a bit crampy, I can't keep it in properly, like, and then you realize you still got over 5 hours of driving time left, and that's going to affect your performance directly. It's one of those things that people don't realize is how important proper ergonomy is for your performance. It's huge.
Yeah, and it is fairly interesting. You did say that these, well, for example, you've got 4 drivers, they will theoretically be doing 6 hours each. The question is, though, how are they going to split up those 6 hours each, for example? Are they deciding, right, each driver is just going to go for one massive 6-hour session?
No.
I would suspect that is the answer, but they might. Or how exactly are they going to break it up? Are they going to do double stints each? Are they just going to change driver when they change tyres because there's more time at that stop? Yeah. And of course then the new driver can get used to new tyres, which is always helpful.
What I think is going to do is double stints each, or during the night some might do triple stints. How I would do it is I would give the starting driver like 2 hours and then just cycle it through, give the starting driver some rest and maybe even sleep, and then just cycle it through. So there's 6 hours between each and every driver. That gives about half an hour to walk back to the hotel or wherever they're staying, half an hour to get back, other stuff. They get maybe 3-4 hours of sleep in. That could make all the difference in the world when it's 5, 6, 7 a.m. I mean, we're going from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. twice in this race, in real time.
Who is doing that double? I think it's Nick that's doing the 1 to 2 a.m. twice.
I think it's Nick and me. I'm not sure.
I can't remember. I've got the timetable somewhere.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's surprise the viewers, actually. Like, they can play a game of, okay, whose voice do I have to listen to at this hour?
Yes.
And they don't know how to avoid us beforehand.
No.
So they can get picky.
Yes.
I mean, imagine like going to a box of candy and only eating the green ones, for example. If you want to really like make an impression on someone, like make someone fall in love with you, give them only the green ones.
Of course.
Yes.
Although pink and red are always the best flavours. It's never green ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pink and red are always the best flavours. It doesn't matter what it is. If they're wrapped sweets, it's always pink and red are the best flavours.
I always like green, but then again, green is also my favorite color, so could be that why. So we are watching right now. Well, we are watching. You're not watching, but I think we are at least getting a chance to watch one car going around the track.
Yeah, the Pro Sim car.
Yeah, the Pro Sim car, and that's a McLaren Senna, of course.
Yes, which is Pau's car. He's there wandering around, not looking after his team.
Not at all.
He's just presuming that his drivers are doing a good job and he's not overseeing them at the moment.
Then again, if I was a driver, and I've been a driver, I would rather have my team boss wandering around, confident that everything is being taken care of, that the drivers are doing well, rather than sweating bullets right behind me while I'm driving. Because I could feel the hot breath running around my neck, and I could feel that the team boss is like, I wonder if he's going to do all right, I wonder if he's going to do all right, and I'm like, well, just give me a chance, will you?
It's always good when the boss of your organisation is watching then you crash. That's always a good thing to do. Again, don't take our advice.
No, don't take our advice. I'm just wondering, since our boss of the organisation is watching this, how do you crash in a sim racing media table, broadcast table?
Oh, very easy. Have you seen me lose balance on a flat surface before? Because I can.
I had a dream for about 5 seconds, about 5 p.m. tonight. And it involved me walking down the hotel stairs and, falling on my back, and I woke up. I had like a little bit of micro sleep, and even during those 5 seconds, I managed to fail. So that's quite an interesting one. And for those who are wondering actually how fast will the McLaren Senna go when you go towards Indianapolis on Arch Complex, the answer is 333 kilometers per hour. So to our American or British viewers, that's about 210, 209.
100 kilometers an hour is 62 miles an hour.
Yep.
Work that out for yourself.
You're not doing the conversion, are you?
No.
I know 200 is 120, roughly. No, 200 is 320.
Is
320.
Yeah.
20 miles. So, it's 30 or abouts.
Yeah, roughly. I mean, I lived in Sweden for a year. Now I live in Germany. What are miles? What are miles? There's 2 countries that use the metric system. I don't know what miles are anymore.
Yeah, metric system, well, let's not get into the metric system versus kilometers per hour. We're happy to provide you the conversion if it's necessary. I trust also our viewers to be able to operate commonly used search engines themselves, but it's our job to provide a service, which is to provide important information about the race to enhance your understanding.
And just as we say that, we'll go to our first commercial break of the evening from our sponsors.
Communication. It started out as a conversation between two people, but as time went by and people's needs became greater, they developed more ways to communicate. Businesses today need to minimize incomplete connections. Therefore, it is critical that they provide optimal service. Xilinx desktop, mobile and web applications can process everything from normal calls and callbacks to chats, emails, and social media inquiries. Let Xilinx liberate your business.
Yes, and welcome back here to VBOG, to EWC, to GTR 24H. And Ossian has tagged out for now. And I've got someone else joining me instead.
Indeed, someone who knows a lot less what they're talking about.
Yeah, have you not got any interesting segues to put in?
No, absolutely not. I come in here completely unorganised.
About how you can weave sponsors into the narrative of the event, like Ossian did with Viborg HK, the wonderful handball club, which we're in the arena of this year and hopefully for multiple years to come. Have you not been able to write anything with our sponsors to weave it in?
No, that requires organisation. I'm not very good at this.
I saw the size of the book that you've got earlier.
Yeah, I know, but I've not filled it.
Why?
Because you wait till I go around. So we've got a massive complex behind, which is like full of all the pit exits and stuff like that for all of these teams and stuff. Going to go around there, find out what's going on, see what's happening with all the teams, see how comfortable everything is. Obviously, everyone's just travelled from, well, not everyone, from a different country to come here. Obviously, sometimes you're not quite comfortable when you first land. So, got to find out some stories. We did hear Cameron Rogers out there at the moment. Has had not the best time. Got here.
Yes.
Car alternator failure.
Wonderful.
Had to sort that out. So
it's fine. Just jumpstart.
Respect. We need a charity donation to him, I think.
Yeah, a charity donation. My flight was very nice today. Actually, it was a CRJ 900, enough for about 70 people or so. There's 10 of us on the plane.
Nice.
It's amazing. Although we were all grouped in the centre because we'd chosen seats there, just completely independently. So there's 10 of us in the centre of the plane, no one at the front, no one at the back. Wonderful.
We decided to choose row 5 on whatever plane we came in on because me.
Oh, it was Aidan that chose row 5.
Oh, was it? Yeah, Aidan started this. Then Nick
else is going to pick a seat,
Oh, sorry,
I'm gonna
Neil.
do it. So I just picked whatever seat was available. It just happened to be next to the engine.
Yeah, right next to the turbine as well. And I was like, I was like, obviously I want a window seat.
It's row 5. How can it be beside the engine? Oh, it's an ATR 72. Yeah, it's an Oh, that is right. The engines are right in the front. The ATR 72.
Yeah,
it's a flying washing machine.
Yeah, it was loud for 40 minutes. Well, I mean, yeah, but you were sat right next to Ossian, so you could actually hear what he was saying.
I was actually deaf in both ears from the coming into Copenhagen. So
Oh yeah, you said.
my guns felt like they were going to explode. I was sitting there trying to scream the plane down.
I thought I flew badly. I always
I'll be
suffer with
fine going
migraines
back.
and stuff. So
First time's always the worst.
Well, not only did that happen to Aidan, something else fun happened to Aidan as well.
he lost his baggage.
He lost his
SAS lost my
baggage.
baggage.
No, he lost his baggage. We need to get him on the microphone. Pick it up. Come on. Let's tell the story. Come on.
Tell the story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
tell
story
the story.
time.
Hey everybody, it's
Here we
Aidan.
go once again, and welcome back to Story Time. This is the full story of how SAS lost my luggage.
It wasn't. I'm not sure if it was. Was it? Oh.
No, to be fair, it was SAS because his flight was delayed. So
Yeah, so coming out of Birmingham, it's foggy, and they just kept pushing the flight back, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to get... I should have just missed it.
I should have just missed.
I
Yeah,
should
no,
have
to
just
be
missed
fair.
it and got put on the next one where there's like 4 people on it, and then my bag would have got here.
yeah, but then think of Paul would have had to drive
I'd have got the
from
train.
our house to I guess yeah.
He wouldn't drive to Copenhagen. That's far.
No. But he had to drive from
From our
Viborg to
house.
our house, then back. Then
Yes.
he would have had to drive back to pick him up, and probably drop off some random other girl that this one's found.
Well, no, I could have got the train to here,
Yeah.
got
Okay,
the bus
That is true.
into Aarhus, and then got the train up to...
Oh, that's one thing that we do need to
Yeah,
apologise
it's
for. There is a lot of people here who don't speak any Danish, and thus, if we're butchering pronunciations of Danish culture, sorry.
Well, we keep calling it our house, which is a
That's
mad
'cause it's in the middle of our street. So bad.
Jag kan inte danska, men jag kan svenska istället. Så kanske jag kan förstå lite
Well
vad
done.
det danskarna säger. Det är lite olika språk.
Me llamo Aiden.
Fantastic.
GCSE Spanish has come in handy.
Je m'appelle la piscine. My name is
La
the swimming pool.
biblioteca. Oui, la pamplemousse. Oui, la pamplemousse. La pamplemousse, il dans la chambre. Fantastic.
I can speak a lot in other languages. It's just all very, you know.
Tourist.
I could read.
Tourist.
I can read French and German. I just can't speak it.
Oh, I see. Is that
Yeah.
the excuse?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, with your point on the whole suitcase thing, it does segue into the fact of I wonder how many other teams, drivers and whatnot have had issues getting here. So for those of you out there who have had issues, let us know through... I'm not on Twitter, so that's going to be a struggle. This one might be for you.
We all know one.
I'll join.
How should it go?
Do you have Twitter, Nick?
I mean, we
No, I've already done it. Already blown that one out.
are we just going to alternate between the stories, or are we just going to...
Yeah, we're just going to keep rolling.
Just keep. Yeah. So your plane from Birmingham was delayed. What, an hour and 15 eventually?
Something stupid like that, yeah, because fog apparently is a problem. It's just a cloud.
What is seeing? You don't need that. But yeah, it was a delayed an hour 15, which means eventually when you land in Copenhagen, you had 40 minutes.
I had less than that, because when I got to passport control, they were saying, passenger Millward on the flight to Aarhus, please make your way. And I'm like, what do you think I'm doing? And I'm sprinting halfway down the
The
thing.
airport, yeah.
But luckily, I had good friends who told me which gate I had to go to.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're the best.
Where my bag's still on the plane.
With your bag still on the plane from Birmingham?
I know it's definitely in Copenhagen because I saw it go onto the plane.
Have you... so you've been told now that it's going to arrive at the hotel somewhere between 5 and midnight?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm hoping.
Let's see if that's true.
Fingers crossed.
This is what you get for not learning how to pack a weekend in a rucksack.
Looked at me and said, "Ooh, that's a small."
Oh, you're quiet.
Yes.
At least it's here.
At least it's here. No, yeah, I perfected the art of packing a weekend in a rucksack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause it is
I used to do
necessary
it.
for
I used to do
anybody.
it for a living.
That
you?
is true. But
yeah.
He's a DJ
And now look at
and
you.
record
Look at
producer.
us on stage in front of everyone.
Some people.
Some people, yeah, because people are rolling in, obviously.
And the doors for spectators are opened at 6 tomorrow.
Tonight.
Qualifying starts at 6 tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we're doing, so as we said earlier, we're doing 2-2-hour sessions.
So the public are allowed in at 6. Yeah.
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 Nice.
Tell your friends.
Nice one. Yeah.
I've got you covered, brother.
Oh, God.
It's going to go well.
Wait until it's 3 in the morning.
See, this is the thing, we've got
Neil and Nick times 6. Yeah.
We've got a commentary schedule for all of us, which is, we're going to be stuck to know nothing, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the commentary? I should probably put.
The commentary is here, Neil.
Yeah. You come here and you speak.
Is the commentary area?
Is this what I'm doing?
Getting him off, yeah.
We're
You're
just
hit
listening
lane
to the
boy.
ramblings of a madman.
The schedule is somewhere.
I love you, Johnny. This is why we need the paper. You need to get the paper out back so you can throw me a message, mate.
Paper airplane.
The schedule is.
I just read.
At least from this angle, I can kind of like hide from the camera if I just lean backwards, so I can just.
I'm melting.
Oh my goodness.
The schedule.
Roy, my good
the schedule
friend,
is
come
somewhere.
on, don't swear. You're live on TV.
Live on Channel 4.
Live on Big Brother.
The schedule is somewhere.
It's on Discord.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yes,
I've got it. Yeah, so we're starting out the race. I think
Have
it's
you
me.
printed it out?
No, I've not printed it out. My goodness me, we're not that organised.
Oh, I thought for once you might be slightly organised.
No, where would I have printed it out from? It's the 21st
Your
century.
phone.
From my phone.
I can print iPhone Master Race. I can print off this.
That's rubbish.
Wow.
So we're starting on the apparently
that.
on the broadcast at the start. It's me, you, Neil, and Nick. We're all beginning the broadcast, and then I leave almost immediately.
Yes, you do.
And then Ossiana replaces me, and then Aidan joins at 5.
The idea is that we've got 3 of us from the beginning of the race till what? 1 o'clock? 12?
It's about 1 o'clock in the morning, yeah, and
then two people on commentary throughout the night, then 3 of us again at about 8 o'clock or whatever.
And we're going through like staggered periods, so we should all be sort of like on and off every 2 hours.
Yeah.
So.
We should. Yes.
We should.
All of us have got a 3-hour period. All of us have got 2-hour periods between each
Not me,
commentary
though.
shift, and then a 3-hour period at some point during the night. Lewis hasn't got one.
Which is going to change because Nick likes me and he's in charge. Sort of. He's not. But.
He didn't make the schedule though.
Well, he likes me though. He'll give me a little kiss on the cheek and tell me to go. It's fine. To be fair, I think the commentary schedule will last up until about 1 o'clock in the morning, and then it's going to go out the window, and it's going to be like
as we fight for
will
sleep
not turn
time.
up.
Someone's going to go for Someone's going to go for a 5-minute nap.
Sorry, lads. I thought 2 hours.
Yeah, somebody is not going to turn up at some point, so somebody will have to do more hours, and it'll go horrific.
Oh, it'll be fine.
You know, I did make, because the commentary schedule I've got now, myself, Nick, Ossian and Aidan all commentate for 13 hours, and you've got 40.
For some reason.
But I gave you the option of 3, and in another one, all 5 of us did 13 hours, and you said, no, let's go for the other one.
It's because I wasn't on the start.
Even you said, no,
It's because everyone was like, we're going to go for option 2. And I was just like, oh, it's peer pressure now, isn't it? I'm taking myself back. I'm quitting. I'm walking out. It's
You
fine.
could have dissented. But you decided not to.
Well, it's because I'm a good boy.
I've just brought up the Google Sheet on
there we go.
Discord.
Yeah, I've done that, yeah.
It's now all in Danish.
Oh, wonderful. That's fine.
Goody.
Is it?
So now I can't read it.
Well, I think you're the
What's
green
that?
one. I'm the bottom of the flag of Lithuania.
Yeah, it's
I would like to show it to the camera, but it's obviously too far away. I mean, you obviously cannot see that at all.
What do you mean it's all changed into Danish? Your name doesn't change in Danish.
Yeah, no, mine's also perfectly fine.
Can someone
yours in
translate
Danish?
this for me? I don't want to click the wrong button.
Why is yours in Danish?
I have no idea.
Mine's is in English fine as
No,
well.
it's in Danish.
Let's have a
Let's
look.
have a look. What do you mean?
Oh no, it's just the notice that says, do you want
Oh,
to...
just hit not Nezhnak.
Oh no, it says, do you want to edit it? Oh, if you want to edit it, you need to download the app.
I don't want to download the app.
It's the
Well, just
same-
hit the
it's
no
same
button.
name.
Nay.
So, nay tap.
Put your microphone back on, woman.
Nay
Is it
tap.
working now?
Right, go away. I don't want you.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just because you're in Denmark now, it recognises it, so it changes the language.
Scary, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Strange language.
It's
Nobody understands
evolving.
Danish. Well, of course, everyone knows that Danish is just Swedish, but with a potato stuck in your throat.
No.
Obviously, I can't say that out loud because I think I counted up the drivers, and I think 2/3 of the drivers that are taking part are Danish.
It's all right. I'm sure absolutely no one here in the arena right now will be able to hear you. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't
It's not
worry
like
at
you've
all.
got something attached to your face that amplifies sound.
Really? Again, is this what I'm doing here?
You're on broadcast.
Why am I here? What is?
You are live.
I'm surprised that the DJ among us has decided to hold his neck. Right, you need to tell us right who's going to win this race because you're the one who knows what's going on. I mean, Neil obviously does.
But first, here's
I'm
Wang
not
Chung
going to
with
say
Dance All Night.
anything. I shall write it down, put it in an envelope, and
Oh,
after
I
the race,
see.
Yes.
How
we'll
meta.
see. Yeah, we'll see where I am
Yeah,
in relation to the result.
I've got my predictions written down in my black book.
Oh.
Do you?
They're in the hotel room at the moment.
Oh, Neil in his notes. We were speaking about this.
That's next to Maria's phone number.
Just so those who know at home, by the way, we're obviously staying in hotels. Nick is sharing with Neil.
Yeah.
Aiden is sharing with Ossian, and no one wants to stay with me. So I'm in the lone room with the sauna, the bath, and the shower.
He's got such a posh room.
And the kitchen.
And the kitchen. Yeah, but I've had to cook. See, I've not cooked for you yet. I've had to cook for not you
didn't
yet.
cook for me yet.
Not you yet.
I am the first person that Lewis ever cooked for.
It's true.
I am so honoured.
It was a romantic. Well, why would I cook?
It's a
for him?
romantic bacon and egg sandwich.
He didn't know how to cook, and Ossian said he hadn't tried bacon yet, and I was like, "What? You've not? Really? What? He had bacon twice."
Ossian's never had bacon, but he has had a cheeky Nando's.
Amazing. Yeah, that's right. You've got a sauna in your room.
Huh? Yeah, I've got sauna in my room.
Full on sauna. I mean,
Which,
we've got
if
a
you
steam
leave
shower.
on, by the way, and then leave the room, and then come back into it a few hours later, the room is roasting.
Yeah.
And guess
Don't
what?
ignore that.
The heat. When I walked into my room, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Also, those you two are directly above me. So anytime I can hear him talking.
You can hear what's going on. Yeah.
I can hear him in the middle of the night, just chatting his Geordie ways up.
Where man, Hilly? I can cook at the sheet on a little sheet.
I can also hear when you're stamping around as well.
Oh, I'll have to stamp a little bit extra.
Thanks, man.
Oh, Neil.
Stamp your feet to the beat.
Oh, serious.
Very much so, on the stage
Here's
as well.
a duet.
I don't know if they sing though. All I know is I don't sing. Do you sing, Nick? You are the kind of person who does.
I play records. And I let the people on the records
Sing.
Yeah.
Very smart. Very, very smart.
Yeah, it's a way to go.
Still not ready yet.
I still want Okay, you've got to give me 5 teams that you think will win then, and then we can narrow it down to that final one in the envelope.
You can't.
You're
you
going to have
can't
to
just
come
say
to one of my festivals next year.
Oh, will I?
Yes. May Bank Holiday, second May Bank Holiday.
Whereabouts?
It's just outside London, Hertfordshire.
Yeah, but I mean that's like saying it's. But why would I go to that though? Tell me. Give me some details.
Why should we go to your
Get
show?
drunk.
that's pretty convincing. But
I can get drunk at home.
No, not when you got all the music going on and everything else. And the
And banging
festival.
raves.
while you three are trying to work out what is going to happen if Nick is correct and you have to give him money, I believe we're going to go to our first interview of the evening with Jess.
Ah.
Yeah.
So, you're near Sofia as condition support and chess.
Yeah. So I believe it is one of the members of VRS Canada.
You're here all on your own. What's going on there?
Yeah, I kind of arrived earlier. I had to check out already our apartment where we are staying. And yeah, they are about to arrive in 15 or 20 minutes here with the rig and the UC. So at the moment, I'm just waiting here.
Awesome. And what do you think of the arena here so far?
Yeah, it's already quite an improvement from last season. Or from last year. Last year it was quite a bit smaller when it was a middle part, so this is already with the big stands around, it's very professional.
Yeah, so you've already said that you were here last year. What are your hopes for this time round for you and the team?
Oh, yeah, it's actually us competing as a team for the first time this year. So last year I was competing with one team in the hypercar class, and that is what we are targeting for.
Fantastic. And do you think you've got some big competition here? Do you know anything about any of the teams that you're going to be up against?
We are not usually the R-Factor drivers, so we know they are fast guys, but we don't know the names, who are the fast guys, and like little comparison to them. So yeah, we will just see how we compare.
Fantastic. And have you had a chance to have a look around the amazing pit setup that we've got back here?
Yeah, looks interesting. I mean, I've also seen it last year, obviously, and also people bringing couches and big pit walls. It's very interesting to see.
Nice. And do you have kind of a sense of how the competition might run a bit differently from what your experiences were last year?
Yeah, we are obviously competing in a different car class this year, so it's a bit different with managing the traffic and so on. And yeah, we will see.
So can you give us a bit of a sense of your strategy for this new car class, or are you kind of going into it with open minds?
Yeah, we tested obviously what is the best, but yeah, it looks like just flat out push it, and hopefully we are right with that.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
And wonderful. Thank you to Jess there, our pit lane reporter, if you like, our interviewer for the weekend, and she's going to be going around trying to harass people for as long as it takes for them to give an interview.
Well,
I believe that's going to be our job for the weekend, just to harass people to give interviews.
The lady harasser herself, absolutely. The thing is this is the best thing about like a LAN event, is you can actually get a live feed with any of the drivers. We can just go out there and annoy them for a bit. But you also get that, obviously, like community spirit. Everyone's here, everyone's seeing what's going on. And if there are any tussles on the circuit, hopefully we're not going to get a Jeff Gordon, Braz Keselowski, that kind of.
I like how if you specify on circuit.
Oh yeah, what I
And
mean,
just like real life. It's fine. They're just beside each other. Just punch the person beside each other because they've taken you out. It's fine.
Well, we've got some people that have erected walls here to avoid.
They have erected. That is true. Some people have erected proper walls around their rigs. I presume that is to hide strategy notes, to hide data, to hide.
I also said this to Nick when we came in, is I think the reason why you would also do it is not just to hide, what's going on, what strategy you're running, where you are, what's happening, but it's also to avoid distraction. Because the thing is, obviously, we're in an arena here, you're going to have people moving around, you're going to have lights changing, you're going to have like the screens and stuff up, and then people like walking up to their rigs and stuff to take over. Obviously, no one, when the race starts, no driver is allowed on the floor with the express idea to take over a car, right?
Yeah.
So no one else is allowed. So you're not really allowed just to wander about.
No. We are.
We are. Yeah, of course we are. I mean, come on.
We're allowed to wander about.
But the thing is from that you're going to get quite a lot of distraction regardless. So putting up a wall like that removes at least one distraction.
Yes.
From potentially annoying scenario.
And it is interesting how all the rigs are set up here, because it is two rows that are, there's two columns with rigs facing each other. So is it preferable to be facing out the way or in the way?
Oh, I actually wouldn't know. I don't think that would matter, because by the time you get into the car, you're going to be like tunnel vision with what's going on. I've done LAN events before. You just sit down, you focus on what's going on, you hit the apex and stuff, you do as you're supposed to, and you kind of go a bit tunnel vision. So I don't think it really matters on where. You just kind of don't want to be around anyone if they get angry and then throw the headset and then start shouting words.
Yes.
Hello.
Any addition, Aidan?
Do you want to say anything?
No, I think you pretty much covered it.
Wonderful, thank you, Aidan.
Sorting technical gremlins is fine.
That is something which I'm sure some people are fighting out there, is the odd technical gremlin. Because this is like, imagine you've just packed up your computer, you've then stuck it into a car, you've then driven God knows how far.
800 plus miles.
Yeah, you've then unpacked. David Greco's traveling from Spain. He uploaded a picture onto Facebook. I think it's like 26 hours or something from Italy up here, driving. Now, the thing is once you've got here, you then have to go and get some sleep, obviously, because that's crazy.
Yeah.
Then you've got to come in, you've then got to assemble everything. Now, a sim rig is not a simple thing. It's not as if you're just getting, like, there's a desk, there's a booth, there's that, stick that on there, and then plug it in and we're good to go. Like, there are still people, bearing in mind there have been people in here for a few hours, still putting together their sim rigs, still making sure that everything's working right.
Yeah.
There's cables left, right, and centre. It's a bit of a technical nightmare.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's actually still here. Maybe in the back.
You don't want to have the same problem. Was it Max Verstappen had at Spa when his brake pedal disintegrated halfway through?
Oh yeah.
And Lando Norris was there giving him all the help that a good friend would by
laughing at him.
Lad. Top lad.
with travel, Bora Milan, I'm not sure if he's in the back or still here. Might have got to a hotel. Although he lives in Spain, he had a 10-hour travel day with 3 flights.
Four flights.
4 flights.
4 flights. Santiago to
Madrid?
Santiago to Madrid. Madrid. I think it's Madrid to somewhere in Germany. Then from there to somewhere in Poland. Then Poland to here.
That's right. It was like to Frankfurt to Krakow or something.
Yeah. It's just like, oh
for
my
no
goodness.
reason. There's bound to be a direct flight from Madrid to Copenhagen.
Did you have a direct flight?
I did. I had a direct flight from Munich to Aarhus.
Yeah, I know.
Not even to Copenhagen, to Aarhus.
I had to do
Beautiful.
Heathrow to Copenhagen up. I luckily had 2 hours in Copenhagen though, so.
Yeah. I've got 3 1/4 on the way back.
Oh.
It was either.
Wait, hang on. Because you're coming down to Copenhagen with us.
Yeah.
Why is it not direct back?
Because there's only direct flights on Thursdays and Sundays, and the direct flight on Sunday is at 12 o'clock.
Nice.
And the race is slightly still happening at that point.
I mean, we could do without you. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Thanks, guys.
We've been here 24 hours
Thanks,
already
guys,
without
love
you,
you.
so it's all good.
Yeah, that is true, Mr. Late Boy.
It's not my fault that I've got to make a good impression at work because I've just started there.
Good impressions are just, not worth it. I got told that I'm not allowed to take any holiday in December, yet Star Wars comes out, so I'm still booking it off.
No, just go to midnight screening.
That's what I am doing.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the triple bill, so it starts at 6, finishes like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Lovely. No, I've got to make a good impression at work.
Absolutely.
I've got to shout at a screen for most of the day, actually.
Well, that's good. That's great for this.
Yes.
Exactly what you're going to be. Well, you're going to be shouting.
Essentially,
well, I mean, if we're down 1 for shouting.
Essentially,
I've got to watch the video again now. Sorry.
My job at the moment is to be pedantic. That is my job.
What is it that you actually do?
I'm a patent engineer.
Oh, that's a bit more fancy than what I do.
Yeah, so essentially I do things with patents, and if the patent office says, no, this has already been done, you have to argue, no, it hasn't, and then argue the meaning of a word. And this could last for about 600 or 700 words. Is why they've misunderstood a word. I'm not even joking. That's what I have to do.
That does not sound entertaining. I have to serve people their food. Hi, here's your hot steak. Enjoy.
I have to read other people's bank accounts and decide if they're worthy of.
Oh, that's rough. That is.
Decide if they're worthy of me giving them some money.
You're a loan shark.
I do business loans, basically. Yeah. I'm not a loan shark. I'm a loan salmon.
I see. As long as you lend me money, it's fine.
I'm less aggressive than any. That upload speed is. Can I have that at home? Because that's just
how
great.
many of the MB to the P to the S?
925.
Oh no, that's disgusting.
I can stream 9 games at once. City Skylines, Factor 2, Call of Duty, FIFA.
I know, mental.
Yeah, so as we continue talking about internet speeds, let's have a look at some of our providers who may be able to help you with your technology needs.
Wow. Oh, yeah, no. You're right there. Right, well, we're back, and this time it's me with Nick
Yes.
Newcomb. Hello.
Hello,
You're
good
a
evening.
man of much experience. You can,
you
can
may
tell
well
us how
say
to win
that.
at Le Mans.
Yeah, you may well say that.
So we've had a good few days chatting, or a day and a bit, chatting, getting on.
Very entertaining.
Potentially annoying ourselves. We've had a good conversation. Now, through that time, we found out that obviously you're an well-experienced, well-versed sim racer.
Allegedly. Inverted.
I mean, some could say you've been in it for a very long time, and you're not even old, but
yeah, I have. Yeah.
So talk us through it. How would you win Le Mans?
By staying on the track, basically. Qualifying well, not necessarily in P1, I would say.
Yeah.
It's not always in the 24-hour race. It's not the most important thing. Definitely having a very smooth setup that doesn't cause you any issues, or you come into a certain turn and feel I need to get this one right, because in practice for the last week I've struggled here, because that's the last thing you want to be thinking, is having doubts when you're coming towards a turn or a certain part of a track. Everybody's happy with it, everybody's settled in with the rig they're going to be using, and plenty of practice and understand and the strengths that each can offer, and understand and listen to each input that the team member has for that car.
Yeah.
And once you've done that and you've come out at the other end with the setup everybody's used to, then it's all systems go.
Yeah.
For me.
The thing is, especially with like a LAN event, like it's hard enough doing it at home where you get into an endurance race and like you've got to get in the car and bam, off you go, right? Whereas like that's hard enough at home where you can kind of practice offline and sort of get used to it, and then let's hit it. Whereas here, obviously, you've got one rig. Some, obviously, you were saying before that brought two last year, so someone could practice backstage.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people have only brought one because naturally it's hard enough to bring one, to bring two. So to actually get in the car, even though you've done all this practice, but to get in the car in this environment and then just hit it in the race, lap after lap after lap, is
so you're coming into the car cold, aren't you? You're coming in right, you're ready, get the nod, 3 laps, 4 laps, whatever, prepare yourself, get yourself ready, do what you need to do, final drinks, psych yourself up, understand where you are, if there's anything wrong from your pit crew. If you're carrying damage that you're looking at fixing, maybe at the next stop, not this one because of the situation that you've got on track. So you might have to carry a little bit understeer or a little bit oversteer. Get into the car. You haven't got a lap to get used to it, because the first sector is you're going to lean on the car, and you're going to have to trust the car, and you're going to have to trust yourself to take it out of Tête Rouge down to Milan. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's the balance
that's
that comes
the thing
in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need a car that's comfortable. If it's on edge, this is the problem that people are going to have if they get damage on the car and they decide not to repair it on the pit stop and then do a driver's
swap. I think understand the car. Yeah,
we've both I'm sure you've at some point taken over.
I've carried a damaged car. Yeah.
The thing is, when you get into a car with it being damaged after a pit stop, I've had it before where I've had to take over an LMP1. You get in it and you kind of think, right, I know that I've been told, as much as I've been told, like Lars, who is my teammate, told me the car is broken on the right rear, be careful of it because it's a little bit just oversteering, only through right-handers though, so it's fine everywhere else, just be careful. But the thing is, as soon as you get in the car, you see that blue damage, all of that information goes completely out of your head.
Yeah.
You approach
I've got a broken car.
Yeah, exactly. But the first time through Dunlop, you're kind of thinking, now what do I do? Let's feel it out corner to corner. You go through the first section, you come round to Tête Rouge for the first time, and all that's going through your head is this is a really narrow corner that I can mess up easily. With the cut tracks being so tight, I don't want to waste one because I don't understand what's going on.
It's one rig over the 24 hours. The thing is, a lot of the time you always seem to get a good turn in, say either to the right or to the left, and a poor turn in, understeering really strong to the right or the left. So if it's turning in well on one like on the right hand, it's going to be really understeery. So you've got to give an extra input on the left hand side when you want to turn in. So you've got to understand that immediately. And your times do pick up because you get used to it. But here you're in, you got like 4 or 5 minutes to warm yourself up. You walk through from your pit lane area, walk through to your rig, get ready. The guy drives in, out he goes, you get in, get settled. If there's a movement on the seat that you have to bring in or out, do that. Then you're off.
Yeah, that's...
You know what I mean? That's you. You've got to be on it. Especially if the guy in front has just done a great tour, double stint or a triple stint. You're like, you need to carry on what this guy's done. You know?
Exactly. There are some drivers here who are a little taller than others that will share in the same team. I bet that's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But the quality of the drivers here can supersede some of the normal drivers, shall we say? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a different style of competition. It's quite elite. There's some of the top drivers here, I think. Not just commentators, you know. Not just commentators. Yeah, we're going to try and sort out of inter-commentator competition. So you can do the best lap time.
Oh, me?
I mean, come on, it's obviously between me and Nick.
It's obviously between me and Lewis.
Yeah, exactly, come on.
Ossian can...
Yeah, but Ossian, we found out... Yeah, exactly. Ossian's not driven R-Factor 2 yet.
Is he not?
He's the other one.
He's the other one. Yeah.
Can we say? Yeah, I don't think so.
He's the rental one.
Yes, exactly. He's only on that boat. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Been telling this all week, and by all week I mean yesterday.
Yeah. So for everybody that's coming down to the show from tomorrow, you're in for a surprise. The arena's taking shape. It's not fully figured out yet. A lot of the teams are still sorting out their rigs ready. The pit lane area is really taking shape. It's looking good. And if you were at the event last year, it's taken on a whole new life with the added teams and the equipment that's been brought. It's a spectacle, like, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously being in Viborg this time and taking over this arena, and it's been
Yeah.
it's a quality place, like really. Like
And the setup is
atmosphere.
amazing.
Absolutely.
Even the stewards area, when you look up, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, we had a little look up there yesterday. We had to sit up there for an hour, but we had a bit of a selfie up there as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Everything's like coming to the highest standard, apart from this cable mess behind us.
yeah,
We'll ignore that.
We're going to have to sort out the cabling, I think.
Yeah, otherwise Neil's going to trip
there's
over.
there's another sofa going into the...
Yeah, so I kind of want to get screenshots and send these to people, because when you think of like pit lane area, you kind of yeah, exactly. Like, you know, in Formula One, when you've got like Christian Horner looking at the wall of monitors and whatever, I am not joking. There are some teams literally like that back there. They have got a
monitors.
Wall, 6. Who was it in the corner?
Esports, Burst Esports.
Burst Esports. They've
in
got
ID Sim Sport.
Yeah, they've got like Burst Esports. Have got like a massive 4 monitors up,
Bank
4
of
monitors across,
monitors, yeah.
4 monitors down, and then a massive 4K telly in the middle. And I'm looking at it going, what?
Yeah.
What is this?
In ID Sim Sport, have got the similar situation going on.
And then there's like 5 or 6 teams back there that have got. I mean, the power consumption back there is going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not putting the electric.
bill.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. But it's saying like that shows the preparation and organisation that's going into it, and the joy of a LAN event where you bring your own stuff. This is what you do.
This is
the
what you
level
do.
that teams
You
bring.
make yourself the equipment that you need. The equipment that you need to make yourself comfortable when you're not driving.
Yeah, there's like obviously there's Singularity Wheel.
Yeah, Singularity and Hyder.
Yeah, they've got like coolers and stuff for drinks.
For drinks.
And yada yada.
A lot. Well, eSport and Burst have got their fridges as well. Most of the guys bring the fridges. Packs of beer, obviously.
Obviously.
We need to visit that.
We can't support drink driving.
Well, yeah, not allowed. Don't drink and drive, kids. It doesn't go. Yeah. Even in sim life, don't drink and drive. Yeah, but a few of the teams have got set up and actually out on track, getting things together, getting used to the one rig that everybody's going to share. And as the night goes on, there'll be more teams getting online.
We have had Undercover on the server, obviously previous season's champions.
Yeah.
So it's good to see them returning and joining back in.
As well from GT3.
Yeah.
They won last year. Young guys, I think the oldest driver from last year's winning team was 2 16-year-olds, a 14, and I'm sure one was 13. That won GT3 last year.
I hate being old. You're making me feel old. I'm like, how old's Neil? I think I might be the youngest, or the second youngest. I don't know how old Neil is.
I'm not sure.
No.
Oh, Ossian's back in.
Ossian's obviously older than me. Here he is. Come back from making a steam train outside.
I can see Geordie's face in. He's contemplating life there.
Oh yeah.
Wishing that he could drink. he's too young yet.
One day.
One day.
One day. Or you just be like me. You just watch everyone else have beer after beer, and I'm just like, oh, okay, thanks. I wonder who has had not like the longest distance. I think Boha's pretty much right up there on that.
Yeah, Boha.
I wonder who's come the furthest to get here. Because there's got to be a few that have travelled. Like last year, and like Matt Strandler, you saying like Strandler, like they came over from the States to come to this.
It's not one of the Hyder guys from USA.
I don't know. I would pay attention, but unfortunately...
Rory, I'm sure Rory's from America, isn't he?
I didn't sign a contract that said that I had to pay attention.
Yeah, Rory's from America, isn't he?
Well, we could just ask, is anyone from the States?
Enzo, is Rory from America, yeah? Yeah,
he is,
so,
my
yeah,
goodness.
Yeah.
Say, is anyone from the States? So they usually go,
woo! Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Like, someone would just be like, woo, party time!
Yeah, I thought Rory was, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He came late to the team, so, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, people travel far and wide to come here. We spoke about this with Eric, Schmieder,
and Adam.
Really, we're changing, by the way. I'm not doing 4 hours with you, mate. We're doing more than that. I'm definitely doing more. Don't you whisper us. The crackling. I think that cable's completely similar. Oh, hello. Are we back?
I think we are. Are we back?
Oh my goodness, we are. We were doing Jurassic Park. There's a mall here that has dinosaur animatronics. It's made me so happy.
Yes, you need to go and check it, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyone who's actually here, if you need to go to a shop, there's a mall down the hill. It's got dinosaurs in it.
Town Centre.
Yeah, it's called like the Central Market. We've been in there twice now because we really needed more bacon.
Yeah, and a few six-packs, mate.
You see, crikey. Oh, no, we can't have this on.
No, it's too early,
Yeah, yesterday we were setting up we set up maybe four of the gazebos in the back. So we found out we've set up Citylarian hiders.
Yeah. Sorry in advance, guys.
Yeah, if it falls down, that's us. To me.
Yeah, to you.
Yeah.
Double team.
Oh, it's terrible. This is going to be a long 24-hour stream, by the way.
Yeah, it's going to be 24.5.
Yeah.
Well, good point. Well brought out. Yeah.
Between 1 and 2, you'll see it go from 1 and 2 to then 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I'm finishing on the 1 and 2, 1 and 2. It's pretty good, isn't it? Are you cold?
No.
Oh, is he in a cuddle?
I'm just dancing.
I think we're taking off what we're streaming. Are we streaming on YouTube?
I'm like the boss, I'm dancing in the dark.
Oh, I see. I see. Do you want to start dancing? No? Not a dancer, are you? No, me neither. I don't think any
Even if you're asking.
any English person who respects themselves enough is not a dancer.
Yeah, it's cool.
Also, other things that are going on. Why not? Let's speak of things that are going on.
Yes.
Up there, I mean, up there, right up on the top level. So we've got like a balcony or sort of area where there's a couple of like bar type things. Apparently, up on this side, behind us, there is going to be there's going to be a VR setup.
Yeah.
So those of you can kind of like go up there, select the car that you want to see. So let's say, for example, Undercover Sport, and you'd be like, I want to look at them from VR. Boom.
You're in the car with them.
The option is there for you. You can go up there and have a laugh. There's also some sim rigs for those that are sort of spectators can come along
and want to drive.
Come and give it a go. Obviously, people come in and think, wow, I want to take part in some of this. Thank you very much.
We will test them out by our in-house competition.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what the prize is. We can't take any money off of Austin. We already spent all that at the Chinese.
Yeah.
They had a great restaurant.
Yeah.
Very good. If anyone's here and you need food, just down by it's an incredible like area because obviously the football stadium here is literally just next door. A Mountain Dew. I'd love one, mate.
No, that's water.
It's water.
It's water.
No, I'm not happy with this. Oh, that is bad. That's terrible. Need to keep hydrated. These are also with the light. They look fairly luminous.
Glow in the dark.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
There you go. Spill that all over the place. It's fantastic. All over all of these cables that are all over the place.
I'm slightly moist. No.
No.
Sorry, mate.
You've got to put it that way, right? Come on. This guy's an amateur.
Get the logo on camera.
Yeah, you're supposed to be good at this.
I'm having a drink.
You're like supposed to be the pro because you're the one who's done this. You've done this last year and this year. Okay, come on. And you did commentary, of course, last year.
Yeah, I did.
With Jimmy B.
With the Jimmy B in the Christmassy.
Yeah.
Christmassy.
Yeah. It's curious. This is the weirdest thing about sim racing because like we were speaking earlier and then obviously you were speaking about Chris and Jimmy and I'm like obviously I've met Jimmy a couple of times. I met Chris once on the way to Germany.
Yeah. We'll not say that story.
No, we won't. We won't say that. It's not friendly.
Get a load off.
Oh my goodness. Oh, bang.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
straight through.
Cheetah. Dirty cheetah. It was Stewards 3 as well.
Yeah.
The stewards are going against. I don't know if they can see what's going on in game. Obviously, there's nothing going on in game at the moment anyway. We've got a few people just trying to get in. It is cold in here at the moment,
train.
But why? Oh my god, there's more sofas and more water and more everything up here. This is brilliant. I hope those sofas are not.
That's amazing. You've
told
got one, have you?
I was told by
And they
someone.
use it.
I'm not going to name names because it might be a little bit going against them in some ways. But there was someone who was saying that was driving over, they were driving past an IKEA, and they were like, I wonder if I can go into the IKEA, buy a nice sofa, bring it here, set it up, use it, hold it back, and then be like, I didn't need it. It didn't fit in my room. I said, that is a great idea, except for the fact that it is guaranteed to get broken.
Yeah.
Someone with a fat bottom is going to, probably me,
Bust it.
is going to sit on it and it's just going to go. Oh, here we go.
Simply Race.
Simply Race. Oh, that'll be the one that Matt Richards is driving for then. Fair enough, gotcha. Understood. Some good liveries on the grid though.
Yeah, the liveries are really good with the new colours that you can use.
Yeah, the what's it called? I always forget. It's the materials pack. So you can chrome cars. You can use the specular paint, matte paint and stuff like that. The level of detail that you can create on liveries now has actually really shot up through the roof. Because even on cars that look kind of a bit rubbish,
when you get into the detail of the car,
they can look absolutely phenomenal with the new material system. So thanks. But
some of the skinners have really got onto it, haven't they?
Where's the UI?
Well, yes. Thanks for the content, but where's the UI?
But where's my UI? Am I slightly ahead of you?
Yeah, seems so. As always.
Oh no, we are. We're running different cameras. That's a bit more zoomed in. Yeah, it's different angles. It's fine. Did you say it's always? Oh, that's really sweet. I don't think
I've got to pick you up.
We've not. Nearly all over myself and the bonnet.
Again.
Shut up. I'm just very good at dribbling. That's why they like me in football.
Yeah, I know.
I'm actually well known. My housemate is well known to call me a dribbler, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just part of my charm, you see.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Local bike.
He's an ex-sim racer. I can talk about my housemate. He's an ex-sim racer.
Cool.
There's Nicholas Hillebrand walking about on his phone. Look, off he goes.
There he goes.
He's just chilling.
Nicholas
does not want to. God damn it. There we go. Nicholas, get on camera. Stand in front of that camera right there. Just stand in front of it.
This is this one.
This is live.
That's Nicholas.
Nicholas, there we go.
There you go.
All right. He's raced against my housemate.
Yeah.
You've raced against Ian, housemate. Ian Mills. Yeah, so there you go. We'll drop his
Okay,
name.
bye.
Bye. That's what we need you for. Sweet. Be gone. Cool, bye. Okay, thanks, bye. Oh, dear. There he is again. What, are you starting a fight?
No.
Oh, good. Now, I've actually, all three, you're actually the consistent thing, because you've been at all three LAN events that I've been to. You were there with the two, obviously in Germany, naturally, being a German. And now this one.
Yeah.
We.
Was here. You've raced here a few times. You were here last year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's got.
He gets everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I won last year here. So
Yeah. Oh, he had to
There
He had to get that in.
It was going to be there somewhere. Come on.
I only won this event,
You know, you said like, oh, come back, so you know.
Yeah. You had to come back, didn't you? Yeah.
Well, this is our last time coming here, thanks to when we get home and then leaving Europe and all that.
Yeah. You thought your whole world had collapsed last year, though, didn't you? 4 laps down or something, didn't you?
Yeah, like within the first hour.
Really?
Yeah. They were in the lead and just something happened and you just crashed out the game.
Game crash, like we lost connection. So my teammate, he's with Singularity now. So, you know, forget him.
Oh, that's angry. That was an angry look there, my goodness.
Yeah, it's all good fun. They're all a bunch of very good guys.
That's not what he actually says behind scenes.
Through gritted teeth.
We're gonna play some games later. drink a bit. So
Oh yes,
Casual.
You're going to get there. Is it?
so
You're going to come in tomorrow.
They're going to pretend to drink and let Hyder drink real.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see. To get an edge on the competition.
Get an edge.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
This is a man who knows how to win.
They're going to reveal all their
yeah, they're all going to be drinking vodka,
So-
but I'm just drinking water.
Yeah.
So it took you a few hours to get back up on even onto the lead lap.
Pretty much, but like I think it's, as far as I remember, it was.
By early morning, you win the lead though.
No. Like
No?
actually within like the first 6 hours again.
6 hours.
Yeah, like my teammate ended his stint, like his normal 2-hour stint. I got into the car, did 3 hours, and then we were back in the lead when we went to pits.
That's why it's proof you should never give up. Go all Jensen Button.
Never
man,
give
just
up.
Win anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, most
It
definitely.
was Jensen Button 2011 in Canada, but
Yeah,
over
exactly.
24 hours.
Exactly.
Same length as that race in Canada.
Yeah, that was a long one. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that was a long one. Talking about seagulls at one stage, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I know. It was. I mean, to be fair, I'm glad I didn't. I'm not a commentator for that because I don't know. How do you feel? 2 hours of a rain delay.
They did
There was
well,
only-
though. They did well.
Crofty. Sorry, no, it was Brundle and Coulthard.
Yeah.
They did a really, really good job of filling that because that was horrible.
Yeah, poor
When are you
kids.
getting in game then? Come on.
Is your rig
We
set
saw,
up?
we saw you get in. We saw you get in earlier.
Yeah, we're just testing some stuff with the rig. We had a bit of issues with brake pedal earlier, so we're just testing that out. Let Michael get a bit of seat time because he's used to a G29.
Yeah.
So obviously a very big change in hardware. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You had to go on someone's rig earlier that didn't have a brake pedal set up properly.
No, it was it was ID's one. No, Prosum's.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't. The brake pedal was not.
It was like there was nothing on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of people have to get used to different rigs. Borja
Yeah,
Milan.
Borja. He's
Yeah.
coming from 27s, is he?
Yeah, 20. I think he said he was on 27s, and
He's
now
coming
he's
from
looking
27s.
It's a hydraulic, and he like we were looking at the backstage with it.
He got it. He was
pushed
pressing it with his hand, and he's looking. He was like that.
No. That is. Thank you.
Just hold the cord so it don't fall.
Yeah, there we go. Well, now we have Nico properly.
Wow.
Well, he's going to set it up first, I think. This is always a good test. Thanks, Nico. You're helping everyone. The best. I mean, you could probably sit down on a seat over there, but
we couldn't see over the tower.
I'm sitting already. So
that looks so uncomfortable. Jeez.
well.
Give him a chair, somebody.
No.
Yeah, pull up a chair. Carsten, no!
The support from the team boss.
Absolutely, always.
Don't give any secrets.
No.
No.
He's already got in that you won last year, so don't worry.
He's already passing on the vital information.
The information which was top secret up until now.
Yeah.
Defending champions. Number one on your car, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I was doing when we were doing the other place with Bailey and all that. Me and Lars were adamant. We were like, if we were to win the championship, we are going to take the number 8 because that was our number. And then Bailey was like, no, we're taking the number 1. No. We're taking the number 1. I was like, yeah, but 8 is our number. It's the one that, we've pushed hard on this number. It's our number. He's like, no.
We want 1.
We're taking the number 1. And I'm like... And then we just quit anyway, so...
Yeah.
And we didn't win, so it doesn't matter.
You didn't win anyway.
Can't win everything.
Huh?
Can't win everything.
No, exactly. Especially if you run out of fuel.
Oh, I know. How's your preparation gone for this year then?
A lot of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I had the last 3 months basically gone every weekend somewhere else. Then VEC coming up, of course, and real racing as well.
Real racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Oh, gone off again. No, come
we're back on.
Oh,
That's all right.
Yeah, he's a big boy
He's just
now.
messing with us. It's fine.
He's a big boy now with big boys' toys.
I mean, there's a hotel room with those.
And this is only Thursday, folks.
I know. Is it that? See, I'm
There's
so
plenty
lost
to
on
look
what
forward
day
to
it
now.
is.
He lost that. No,
Yeah.
we've been here since.
Yeah, we know
Wednesday.
because our Chinese was slightly cheaper than it would be if it was tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's an excellent Chinese just down the road, by the way.
But it's 2 krona more tomorrow, isn't it, for
It's
the
a bit
weekend?
more.
Yeah, a bit more.
Oh, shut. It's like it was 100. It was 177 kroner, I think.
It goes up to 190.
173. It goes
Yes,
to
it goes
190.
190 tomorrow. Yeah.
But it was well worth it. It's all you
Friday
can
to
eat.
Sunday, isn't it?
And there's ice cream as well.
190.
The
Yeah.
ice cream really tops it off.
Yeah, it's lovely. Like it's only
It's well good.
a few shops down the
I
road.
just try to steer clear a bit of Chinese places because where I live, like, they have one right down the road, and it has like a chocolate fountain. So like
the infamous chocolate
No,
fountain.
basically, last year for I think my sister's birthday or something, we went there, and you know, I just went like, oh yeah, like, have a bit of banana and like put it in the chocolate fountain. It just fell straight in.
Oh no!
So I basically tried again and again, and the fourth time and the fifth time, and it all kept falling in. In the end, I just took like the toothpick, got one piece out, put it on the plate, went back to the place, and my mother was like, "You were there for quite a bit. Did you actually get anything?" Yeah, I got it.
I got one piece of banana.
And then out of the corner of my eye, I started seeing the chocolate fountain get completely clogged up, and I just went, "We have to leave. We have to leave now."
Yeah, no, it's starting to paint a bit
Because the banana would just melt and just,
yeah, I know.
oh, God.
Banana and chocolate. It's a good idea, but no, that's pretty embarrassing. It's not surprised it's something actually, to be honest.
Well, you know.
Yeah, I don't know that. Oh dear.
Look.
Did you drive here?
Yes.
Oh.
680 kilometers.
At least you didn't have an alternator fail though.
Oh, don't mention the alternator.
Is Cam even here? Is he over there?
Well, I mean, car didn't break down, but I had the most nervous co-driver ever.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Devin Brauner.
Where is he?
Devin?
He's in the pit area. He's in the pit area. He knows what he did.
What? Oh dear. Oh.
That's
a story for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Driving in a straight line, he's like, "Oh, no. Worse than my mother."
Oh no.
That's pretty bad.
That's not good.
That is pretty
That's
bad.
not good.
No one wants to that's 600 kilometers. So how long will it take you? No, actually, no, we shouldn't know that because it probably involves speeding.
No.
I mean, we did drive about 6 hours to Village Airport. We came from Switzerland, and then we drove another, I think, 1.5 hours up to Viborg, so 7.5 hours.
There we go. That's going to happen at least once or twice.
Yeah, that's going to happen a few times. It's because I press replay and then quickly press escape. Put them
Is that what's done it? It's
really messed them up.
I see. The best of doing that in the race.
I think the bollards have been taken out already.
Yeah.
Where's the
Bollards there? I don't think there are any bollards.
How many stop and go penalties are you going to get? Go.
I think it's
9 to 11.
9 to... Oh,
you know me, you knew it was coming.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, come on, do tell.
No, nothing.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Nothing to see here. Is there anyone you're excited to meet here, other than me, obviously, again?
I mean...
Obviously.
I mean, it's basically like twice a month almost.
Yeah, I know.
Just keep riling up these amount of land events, and we're going to see each other like every second Saturday.
We're getting there. It's fine. One day I'm going to go to a lot of these.
But yeah,
as long as everyone sorts out everything else for me, we're okay, because I don't drive, so someone else has to.
But yeah,
would you? Would you drive me? That really hurt.
I would actually drive halfway across Europe. Why not?
Oh, I love a good road trip as long as someone else is driving.
Especially if I'm driving to the Nürburgring or something like that.
yeah, very nice place to be.
Yeah, that was a bit of a nightmare.
I'll have to get there.
I was like Rob Wiesenmüller, who does organisation for elsewhere.
Airport you went.
Yeah, I flew into Cologne and had to pass out in an airport. Pass out. No, I literally I opened the door to my hotel room in Bonn and I went, oh, this is quite nice, and I'm gone.
Wow.
I was so because I closed at work the night before, so I'd been up since 12 o'clock the previous day. I was like, right, I'm really tired, so I just passed out. Got there at 4, and then I had nothing to do in this city that I don't know anything about for like 6 hours. Yeah, so I was just waiting for this bus, and the only information I was told about this bus was it's a grey bus with bright blue eyes in the front with pink mascara type thing, and I'm like, sorry, what did he just say? Yeah. Lo and behold, the exact thing of what you would think that description fits arrived, and I was like, this is.
It's again as a German bus.
Yeah.
It's a German description. It's not like the English description.
And then obviously I camped out in the Nürburgring, which is good fun.
So basically, if the event was in England, it would be like, oh yeah, it's a Volkswagen bus with this and this number plate. If it was in England, this wouldn't be here right now.
No, that's absolutely right.
You know,
if there's one thing,
a minute before.
if there's one thing that I know about
about the English is we are not efficient.
Well, I mean, I've seen the political stuff going on.
Whoa.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
We're not going to go there.
It's a mess.
Happy Halloween. It's coming.
I've never had 3 prime ministers in 1 year before.
If you hang around, you're gonna have 4.
I saw this one Twitter post which was like, oh, the year is 2591.
Yeah.
The British Premier Minister is visiting Brussels to ask for an
extension. Yeah.
No one knows why this tradition came to a thing, but like there's tons of people from all over the world again watching it.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's the best reality TV show in history.
Yes.
I mean, I get asked about this at work all the time. Someone's like, so what are your opinions? I'm like, I don't want to answer this. Like, I don't want to have this. I mean, I'm really busy right now. Can we not? For those of you that don't know, I work in a restaurant as a waiter, and I'm really bad at it.
Nightmare.
I am a nightmare, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, man. You're really kind to me.
Yes.
For those of you sat at home that are really concerned about this duo, we're not actually commentating very much together. We do the first hour, and then we do 3 other hours throughout the 24-hour race.
We'll be fine.
No, we're never going to see each other. In fact, actually, I'm just going to hear you stomping around in your room upstairs.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, you'll not, because you'll be here.
That's true.
Ossian, you've got Ossian.
Snoring.
Does he snore?
Nah, I was gone last night.
No, really?
Yeah. 1 beer plus migraine, I was gone.
Yeah.
Oh. Migraine, not with it.
So he says.
That's
what they say on them radio
He's
shows,
a big old lightweight.
Flat, isn't it?
Huh? Yeah, there is actually a few beers in my fridge that are never going to be touched. So
There's a few. I've got about 6 tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, if you start smelling a bacon sandwich, that's me.
If you start smelling
Oh, no, don't you say anything. You can stay out of this. Alright, so
Cheers,
you go.
mate. See you go.
Right, we'll go then. It's left-handed, that's really awkward.
Hey,
that is.
beatboxing.
Actually, this is more your thing, you're a DJ.
Yeah, but I don't beatbox.
Of course you do. Look at you. You're definitely.
Rule number 1, don't cut the mic.
Yeah.
Do you not?
No.
Do not cut the mic.
Why not?
Any metal band where the singer cuts
Oh,
the mic,
yeah,
all
no.
the right side, just clobber him.
Yeah, no, but like, what about when you beatbox and do you not?
Beatboxing, yes. Yeah, I believe I do.
I don't know. As a no one here is.
Do we have a professional?
Yeah, please. Anyone? No, of course not, because no one is, because it's not a real thing.
No. Well, I was in a band and we did like Norfolk's Got Talent, and instead of the 5-piece rock band,
Is it?
where 3 of the members went on to do bigger things, a local beatboxer from Wisbech won the contest.
But does Norfolk have talent?
No.
No. I'm originally from Kent, and I can tell you Kent does not have
3
talent.
of the members from Cambridgeshire, one was from the West Midlands, and the other just exists.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. Actually involved in the rare form of cabbage.
What is that weird squeaking in the background? Obviously you can't hear. I'm like looking at you going, what is it? he's disappeared off and doing one of his own.
He's trying to see which Wi-Fi he can chat.
Yeah.
You can chap the one from up there. There's the code thing up there, isn't there?
I want this one.
Well, 'cause it's quicker.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. Understood. Well understood, my friend.
Anything that's in the 900 range will do me.
Yeah, we've all. So I wonder if we can. What are we going to take over here to watch the rugby? Because obviously we've come. We're going to. I'm just going to change topic completely.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about the rugby.
We're going to talk about the Rugby World Cup, right?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the rugby. We're going to talk about the Rugby World Cup. Scotland down here. Bye. Off you go.
Yes,
What was your joke?
I've got a joke for everybody.
Go on.
Englishman, Welshman walk into a bar. There isn't a Scotsman and an Irish because they've gone home. Hey, boom, boom.
It's true though.
He's going to be a Kiwi tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
No,
why he's not allowed. That's why he's not allowed to watch it with us.
And then he'll be Welsh on
Sunday.
Sunday.
No one's going to be Welsh on Sunday because South Africa are going to absolutely.
Wipe the floor.
They're going to literally destroy Wales. Wales came into this World Cup as the number 1 team, didn't they?
The top 4 have qualified for the semis. New Zealand were favourites.
Yeah. New Zealand's still our favourites.
South Africa.
I had a South African in my restaurant once, and they he found like something in the sausage.
There is a joke in there.
And he looked at me. I was like, "I'm terribly sorry. Can I get you something else?" And he just looked at me and went, "Nah, don't worry about it." I've had much worse in South Africa. And I was like, what? Like, what do you have, like glass in your food or something? Like, what is this? Oh my goodness. So we've got some cars blasting it around.
Yeah, but not many.
No, exactly.
Because they're still setting up.
Some of them are turning left and turning right.
Yes.
Wow, there's more than one direction.
I was told, well, if you're in NASCAR, there isn't.
Well, Sonoma, Watkins Glen.
And
And
the third one. There's a third one now. Chase Elliott won, despite crashing into a wall and then carrying on as if nothing happened.
I don't know.
Charlotte. They do a Charlotte Roval, yeah.
the Roval.
The Roval. I mean, NASCAR's just hilarious, let's be honest.
It is.
Have you, so obviously, I'm just going to talk about motorsport now.
I don't do NASCAR.
I do everything. Anything that's got wheels on it that goes.
I haven't done it since South Africa 1.
Yeah, I've watched Formula E from the start, and I'm proud to admit it. Sort of.
Can't get away with it.
No?
Can't get away with it.
You don't like it? Not your thing?
Haven't got it on the R Factor either.
What? It's so much fun to drive though.
No.
You're rubbish. God, I want a new coat.
Sorry, darling. Get out of here. Okay then. Right, I'm going to have a break.
Don't leave me.
Yeah. Don't go.
Only if you give me some Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
I'm going to send a message to Chris.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you get a video. I'm like, yeah, Mountain Dew.
Just don't send it with me involved because he'll remind himself of...
No, you can video it.
Oh yeah? Oh dear.
You'll have to do the video. I'll send it to crack eye.
We're also going to make a boy band photograph on the stage with all of the commentators once we set up properly because that's going to be really hot. Because we're going to make a boy band. Obviously, we've got our DJ. We've got a singer. Who's the singer? Obviously, Neil.
Neil looks like the singer. He looks like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Put a gimp mask on him, can't we?
You certainly can. I mean, you need to with this face. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I can play a little bit of the guitar.
We can get a Slipknot. Can't we?
You also play the guitar. So we've got two
I can play the
guitarists.
bass.
You can play the bass, and so we just have to figure out what Aussie can do.
Well, there's a Geordie joke.
Is there?
Yeah. Geordie guy goes, yeah, I used to play BS in the
BS.
Rolling Stones tribute band. I was Bill White, man.
Oh. Can you hear that?
Huh?
That's a tumbleweed just.
You're fucking ruthless. I told you it would be me. Obviously. It's too conversational.
Did you like the way I drew it out there?
You're a nasty man. It's alright. It only matters between Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Well done, man.
Thank you. They're going to be coming in thick and fast now, ladies and gentlemen.
What a bet he said. I said I would do it. He goes, no, it's me.
It's definitely me. If anyone wants to watch my streams, they're full of vulgar language such as that. Well, it was going to happen at some point. Come on.
Yeah, it was.
Once we get to like 5 o'clock in the morning, it's going to happen a lot more. Ignore that. Don't say anything. Right. With that out of the way. And with that dropped. Now what? Anything to add?
No, darling. Fast on that.
I don't actually think that one's working.
No, darling. Yeah. You can have this one if you want, Neil, darling. Yes.
Do you want to take over and then I'll go for some Mountain Dew?
It's going, right?
What time are we live till?
Let's give it another 40 minutes or something. Yeah.
Then go have a bit. I've got a bacon sandwich at home. Come on. Bacon and egg. I'll cook for everyone. Do you want to? Oh yeah, because you still got yours in mine. I packed them all up in a bag, by the way. It's really. Huh? Oh, I see. Do you want to take everything?
Yeah.
Whilst I go to the lavatory.
The toilet.
The lavatory.
It's more toilet than. It's toilet than the others.
It doesn't matter what. You can have it on countdown.
I mean, that is entirely true, yeah. You can have that on countdown.
On Danish countdown, yes. I don't think you can on homegrown countdown. If countdown Words and numbers.
Letters and numbers.
Oh, letters and numbers.
Letters and numbers. Because it makes them sound incredibly simple.
Yeah, it's now time for letters and numbers on Channel 6.
Yeah, boy.
Right, I am watching an LMP2
You are.
going around. I think that's going to be Arnage. You can never get. Oh no, that's.
Yeah,
it's
no, that
Arnage,
is Arnage, yeah.
Indianapolis and Arnage.
It's the slowest corner on the circuit.
It is indeed. And heading towards the Porsche curves. One's called Maison Blanche because of the White House that used to be there. Not the White House, but a white
Isn't
house.
Maison Blanche the fashion cane after the end of Porsche curves, though?
No, that is the Porsche game.
No, hang on, if you're just...
This is the Porsche curves, then the Corvette curves.
Porsche curve. That's Corvette, but this is Maison Blanche. I'm sure it is.
It's, Wikipedia says it's, well, you can't trust Wikipedia,
Well,
but Wikipedia
Wikipedia
says
is
it's
wrong.
part of what is now the Corvette curves. And then bouncing over the curves through Le Forgicanes. The greatest marque to ever grace Le Mans Ford.
Have you got a story time about that? I think you do.
I have done Ford versus Ferrari, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of your many wonderful stories.
One of the many wonderful stories. One of the 3 wonderful stories, the rest is just filler.
And you can find that on Hayden Millward's
On
YouTube
yeah.
channel. Was it 20,000 subscribers now? Plus?
21 now.
21?
21.
Lovely.
21.7 it says now on the... I mean, not as good as Jimmy B's tally.
No.
But impressive enough to be invited to an event as awesome as this.
A small town follows you.
small.
I'm not sure if that sounds better or worse, to be honest.
More people follow me than follow Walsall Football Club, and that is depressing. Which is a town of 170,000 people.
Oh no.
And everyone is an Aston Villa fan.
What, for glory or just because?
Just because.
Just because.
They won the UEFA Cup in 1983, which is a fact they like to remind us of every time they call into the football podium. Oh, we won the UEFA Cup! Oh. Oh! Right, I know I'm an Albion supporter, but we'll talk about the Villa for a minute.
Amazing.
I miss him. I haven't been able to listen to him all week. Oh, these chairs are brilliant.
Indeed, you can find these chairs at Leak Gaming. They've been,
Leak Gaming, one of our sponsors.
One of our sponsors, and I believe they're giving out some of the prizes as well. I think the first place team in Hypercars, P2 and GTEs will all get a Leak chair. I say that.
I'm not going to be able to get that in my hand luggage. I mean, I've had enough trouble.
Yeah. I say that. I might be talking nonsense.
As usual.
That is also sadly correct, as usual.
Meanwhile, I'm going to see where my parcel is.
Oh yeah, where is your...
It says delivery process initiated.
Okay.
With the date of the 24th of October. So
that
I'm
is
assuming
today.
Today. And with how efficient everybody else has been since we've got here, you'd hope. How good is Danish Amazon? Please let us know.
Well, I mean, it's Denmark, so it's obviously horrific anyway.
Yeah. It's not going to come far, though.
No, Denmark is a surprisingly large country.
It is. Well, if you count Greenland, yes, it's a very, very large country.
It's just like when I was getting the train from Middelfart, I think it was, to Copenhagen. It's like 2.5 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you land then? Didn't you come straight from Munich, or did you?
Oh no, this was one of the earlier races.
Ah, right.
But yeah, Middelfart to Copenhagen is like 2.25 hours on the train. It's surprisingly long.
Meanwhile, it's hour and 20 from Birmingham to London these days on Virgin.
I think if you wanted to go from here in Viborg to Copenhagen, it's 5.5 on the train.
I suppose it's got to go down and then across.
It's got to go across to Aarhus, then down the coast, then back across again.
Which is like, from England, if you want to get to here, you can't. You've got to go to Newcastle and across
Yes.
Kristiansand and down, or you've got to go to Dover, down through France. And round. Either way,
Newcastle
it's-
Kristiansand, I don't think exists anymore.
doesn't it?
It's just Emian. Yeah, Amsterdam.
I saw it on Top Gear once.
Yeah, no, I think it's just Amsterdam now that they go to. So you really haven't got a choice.
No,
you
you
could theoretically go from the north of Scotland to Orkney to Bergen.
Yes, you could, but that's.
But you
just-
wouldn't want
that's
to.
Pointless.
Yeah, that is pointless.
That's almost as pointless as flying from Malaga to Madrid. From Madrid.
You know, there was something that I was looking at. I was looking at flights for coming here. You know, roughly if we could arrive at like 2 o'clock, what sort of flight could I get from Munich? And obviously they've got the direct flight on a Thursday. But I'd like to have a look at, you know, if you go down to the very bottom of these flight comparison sites, you get the most expensive.
Yeah.
And I think one of them wanted me to go via Palma and Mallorca. Sorry, Palma and Tenerife.
Hang on a second. Palma to Mallorca.
Sorry, it wanted me to go from...
Well, that's Palma to Tenerife.
Yeah, it wanted me to go from Munich to Palma to Tenerife to Copenhagen.
That's completely the wrong way.
Yes, that's what
Africa.
I thought. That's what I thought as well. It's like, that's wrong.
It's
No.
like when you type in, oh, I want to go from here to here, but I don't want to use the M5, and it takes you through Ireland, down, and you are now entering France, and then back up.
You're entering Spain. You're entering France. You're entering the UK. Oh, really? Thank you.
Get back to where you started. Try again.
It really is incredible sometimes what these flight websites and driving websites can take you to. It really is extraordinary sometimes.
My brother's going to Vancouver beginning of November. He's going from Birmingham to Amsterdam and then across.
Yeah.
Because it's easier than going down to Heathrow and then.
Yeah.
Which is probably what we should have done, because Heathrow's hotels are not nice.
No.
Nowhere near as nice as the one we're staying at.
No.
No.
Lads Hotel.
Yeah, very nice hotel.
Yeah, very, very nice. It's about, what, 10 minutes walk?
Less
Well,
than that?
it depends which way you're going, though.
We go that way. And
Yeah, no,
that
on
way.
average it's 10 minutes. Coming up the hill here, it's slightly longer than going down the hill towards there.
Well, I grew up in Lincolnshire, so I don't know what a hill is.
What is hill?
What is hill?
What is hill?
It is a Damon. Is it a Damon or a Graham?
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible, terrible joke.
Oh, it gets worse than this, don't worry.
Oh, I look forward to it. I look forward to it for the horrific jokes that you may grace me with. So for you, what's the hardest part of the circuit?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
The straight lines are the hardest.
The straight lines are pretty easy, but getting the I suppose Indianapolis is probably the worst.
Hmm.
I tend to go through there backwards. Off.
Well, backwards is the most stylish way to go through a corner.
It annoys a lot of people who are waiting to do their bit.
Oh, really?
At 4 o'clock in the
It puts
morning.
up a massive smoke screen.
Yeah.
Oh no, what a shame.
I use smokescreen. It's super effective.
You can't see. Oh no.
Yeah.
Do you really need to see though? Is it imperative? Is it necessary to see where you're driving?
No.
I don't think it is, no.
I mean, it would get you a lot of points on Tony Hawk, but not in a 24-hour race.
But I mean, that's all that matters really, isn't it?
Style.
Style. Most stylish car wins, as we can see via everything.
Yeah, I mean, this one we're looking at, this P2, is a very nice looking car.
It's simply race one, I believe that is.
I am rather biased towards light blue in general.
Mm-hmm.
It is my favourite colour, so but it's a metallic light blue, which is even better. The shaders that have come for R Factor 2 recently with the pearlescent paint and all that stuff, so now everybody's livery pops out on screen now, and you can see everything that's going on.
That's a little bit wiggly under braking.
A little bit of lag there as well. Looks like someone else has joined in.
Yeah, I think so. 99 car. Team Bernie.
Let's have a look at what they look like.
That is a GT.
You've done your research, sir.
That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, black, green, white. Primary colour black. I'd say secondary colour green.
It's nice to see a Corvette
Tertiary
as
white.
well.
It's a GT.
That's a GT3, that one.
Yeah, it is, because it's got the orange
Yes.
numbers.
We have LM. I know it said LMP1, but it's LM Hypercar.
LMHC,
now.
yes.
The McLaren Senna. Hopefully more
GTR.
More hypercars will come as well.
McLaren Senna
later on.
GTR.
It's the McLaren Senna GTR. It's a wing with 4 wheels attached.
Yes.
That is what the Senna is. The Senna GTR.
It looks so good.
It does look good. And then we've got LMP2, the staple of many endurance championships, real and virtual. And we've got GTE and GT3. Difference between the two being that GT3 has got ABS and traction control, whereas GTE has a bit more downforce and no anti-lock braking system.
And GT3 is slower as well.
And a little bit slower.
Because mainly, well, I was going to say they are older models of GTs, but that's not quite true, is it?
No, because they've got the...
it's usually GTE AM that are older models than GTE Pro.
Yeah. GTD, as it gets called at Daytona.
And
then GTLM, which is GTE. This is an all-Danish team by the looks of it as well. The team of Bernberg Broadsgaard. I believe that's how that O with the has been crossed out. Looks like Molbeck and Yule. The Danish flag on the wing mirrors, so you know that they are Danish.
Just think, because that's imperative information to the driver in front to know.
A bit of patriotism here in Denmark.
It's imperative for them to know what nationality the drivers are of
like
the car.
those little American pin badges that all their politicians are wearing these days.
Yes.
And also the number 3 telling you that they are 3rd in GT3.
That is true.
Very useful feature.
Yeah, on the windshield, top left-hand corners, you look at it from the front.
The top right for the driver. Doesn't obscure the view because they're all left-hand drive.
And then, of course, that changes yellow and starts counting the seconds when it's stationary.
Yes, which is useful for us as commentators because then we know where they're taking fuel and or tyres.
Yeah, if we didn't quite catch when exactly they came into the pits, well, it's much more helpful.
Or even for a stop and hold.
Or even for a stop and hold lead, which happens if you are cut too many corners.
Yeah, 5 is it? Or 3? Or we're going to have to find that out.
I think it's 5 automatically. So it would be 5.
5 makes sense for a 24 hour, doesn't it? Rather than 3 for a...
As per driver, it resets at driver swaps.
It does. Which is... two ways of looking at that. Do you penalise the driver or do you penalise the team?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Is that even plugged in or is it?
Should I put a headset on?
If it's working on one of those other monitors, yeah. One of them still.
One of them's screwed, right? Wondering also interviews maybe, like one of these guys. But you probably know them better actually. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Unless you want to take my other
I mean,
reward.
I'm not in a hurry, I'm just asking if one of you needs relief or something.
Oh, no.
No, wait.
Not just now, no.
If you want to, it's
But yeah, the number 30.
It looks a bit bad when I'm just hanging around here with you guys. I'm always wondering, like,
Number 13 rare endurance car is just coming through the pits now.
It's gone blue on our screen.
Sure that it is in the pit lane.
Oh, we're currently watching car 777.
Well, no, we. Not
the royal we.
Not we.
Well, it will be up on screens elsewhere, obviously. So, using the
the operative term for as if we were doing it for reals is?
Yes. We're always doing it for real.
Always doing it for real.
Always doing it for
We
real.
are just people having fun with sim racing, which is what it should be
I've
about.
got a notification on my phone that it's going to be colder here tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
That's helpful because this is the... I don't have anything thicker.
You don't have anything thicker?
No, I declined. I thought, oh, 12 degrees, that isn't going to be that bad
That
at
is
all.
normal operating temperature for, because I looked at the old temperatures.
Yeah.
And it was like normal clothes then.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, it is quite cold.
It is surprisingly cold, and I brought only t-shirts.
You've got more than me right now.
Yeah, where is your luggage? Is that the hotel?
When we retire for the evening, I'm going to have to go and check because I really need to change my clothes.
Changing clothes is a luxury.
Yeah, some people don't have a change of clothes. I should be so lucky.
Yeah, you should.
Life is a lottery, and I won.
At this particular moment, it doesn't feel like it.
No. We must blame the weather for that.
Yeah,
we should not
blame
blame any particular airline for what happened.
Yeah, blame fog. It's all the fog's fault.
I blame climate. No, I don't.
Yeah, it's climate change's fault. It's fine.
Greta, please come to Birmingham.
Is
and
climate
sort
change
it out.
even real? Who knows?
Who knows? I don't intend to go that deep into the inner workings of the modern world over the course of the 24 hours we're going to be commentating.
That's something you can talk about in the middle of the night. No.
I'm here to talk racing.
Again, is that what we're here for?
That is why we're here.
Is that why we're
We
here?
are here at Le Mans, one of the most awesome racetracks in the world. I mean, would it feature in your top 5? Don't make me choose.
That's a good question.
Thanks for coming, guys. I'm really sorry. Otherwise, we did a hell of a job.
Would it be in my top 5? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I mean, Le Mans is a classic circuit, but really, is it that exciting to drive? It's not. It's a series of straight lines.
Very tunnel visiony, isn't it? I think it's. Do we get blinded by how historic it is?
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that we look at the old Hockenheim and go, that was amazing, when really.
Yeah, it's just straight lines.
Just straight lines and a couple of chicanes.
Chicanes, yeah. It's just straight lines. Again, you know, it is very iconic because it's through the middle of a forest.
Yeah.
And it looks like, you know, where did this track come from?
Yeah. Why did the Germans decide that length is? You know, you had Aarhus, you had Hockenheim, the Nürburgring.
Yeah, Nürburgring,
all
obviously.
very, very long tracks.
Yeah, I'm trying. Was there nothing?
Designed to test.
Yeah.
The workings of the machine and the driver.
Yeah, Aarhus was just essentially a straight line.
It was a motorway.
Yeah, it's a straight line with a couple of hairpins in it.
You could do that on the M6 between Junction 7 and Junction 10 of the M6. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, the potholes would kill people, but you.
Oh, that's just a
yeah, it's like
point.
adds a Mario Kart type of feel to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just a small point.
Yeah. I mean, Bathurst #1 all the time. Then probably Silverstone. Maybe Road America. Just to throw
Road
that one in
America's
there.
a good track.
This is one to mull over.
Yeah. What is the track that I always like to drive?
Well, as the Dream Team cars just spun off.
Yeah, sorry.
It's gone backwards into Indianapolis. So I know your pain, sir.
Yes.
That was a spin that Tony Hawk would have been proud of, but
the Indianapolis is very hard because you are braking and doing weight transfer at the same time.
And the rear end just doesn't want to play.
No.
No, it's like stiffly anti-roll bars, I think, is what.
Yeah, just stick the anti-roll bars cars a bit more, it's fine. I mean, you do sacrifice perhaps speed.
Everything.
Yeah. You do sacrifice.
But that's the thing, though. You've got two stupidly long straights between Tête Rouge and
Tête Rouge
and Mulsanne Corner, and then you've got Sector 1 between the start-finish line and Tête Rouge, and then you've got the Porsche curves. So which bit do you set it up for, or do you just go balance?
Yeah.
Like Silverstone, like we talked about last time we were in a room together.
Yeah. The Porsche curves, they are surprisingly fast. Really, in a GT car, you won't get anywhere below 160 kilometers an hour through there.
See, I'm trying to do the maths in my head now because you're talking an alien language to me, but just keeping it on the edge of grip through there.
Yeah, you won't really get below 100, 110 miles an hour through there, will you? Even in a GT car.
Just decided to bring that in to get it fixed, so... Good on him for driving it back as well, because most people just can't escape. But in the real race, he would have to drive it back.
It is practice needed for the race.
Yeah. Who else we got?
Nightmare Treble 7 car making their way across start finish line. Well, they've decided to go to the pits.
Rare Endurance.
Rare Endurance.
Has also decided to go. Oh, he's still on track.
Yeah, no, still on track.
Still on track. I've obviously not been near a computer for a while.
Really?
No.
Is it in your luggage?
No, it's...
No?
Well, detached retinas happened.
Oh no, that is true.
That did happen.
That is true. That did happen to Mrs. Moore.
Yeah. She's at home now. It's like she's had the operation. It's like, bye.
Bye. I'm going away.
I'm off to Denmark for 5 days.
I love you too.
Yeah. She is high on drugs. She was texting me last night going, hope you're having a great time. I was like, you never send me anything like that.
You've never said that before. What's wrong with you?
$324.
Yes, 324 for the hypercar. Although in qualifying trim that will come down. I think that's in the race
Do you know
trim
what the
race.
embarrassing thing is on my front? The Rare Endurance team has done their fastest lap of 3:31.8.
Yeah,
I'm doing that time in the centre.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I can't do what you do.
Just put your foot down more.
But then I end up going backwards through Indianapolis.
Ah, that's just a aside.
Yeah.
That you going backwards through Indianapolis, stylish. Who cares about speed?
Yeah. You'll make every highlight reel for every future event.
Yep, that is entirely true.
Let's see what's happened in previous. Here's Ada Mill going backwards through Indianapolis. And in 2021, here's Ada Mill going backwards through Indianapolis. Assuming that I'm ever going to take part in one of these, I'll be last in a Senna. Just popping that one out there.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Come on, put your glasses on. I believe in you. But yes, the teams, it's now, what, 10 past 10 here, so perhaps some of the teams are just, well, obviously they're still setting up, but those who are perhaps just winding down for the evening, because tomorrow's really where the real practice starts.
Yeah. They're basically doing a line check.
Yes.
Any musos in the room will probably know what I'm talking about. It's like, yeah, right, it turns on, it works, all the USB connections work. Right, where's the nearest pub? It's been a long day.
I know that feeling all too well.
So you probably just dumped your bags in your hotel room and just, you probably had 20 minutes and then you just like, right, off to work.
We had a couple of hours actually.
Yeah, a couple of hours.
Yeah, we arrived at about 4:30 or so.
Oh, okay.
Had to get food though because I haven't eaten since breakfast.
That's true. I haven't had anything since lunch. I probably should eat something in a bit.
Yeah, it might be a good idea.
I mean, where have the last few hours gone? And if the race itself goes this quickly, I'm going to have to write down everything that happened, otherwise I'm not going to know.
Oh, yeah.
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 Well, you're a master of the note taking, so.
Yeah, they're on my book back in the hotel room.
It's the
All
one
my
thing I
notes.
didn't bring is a notebook.
Oh.
I've got hundreds of them at home, just given to me by people at shows. I was like, I don't want a Sayat notebook. It's bright
But
orange.
you do, though.
Yeah, I do, really.
You say you don't want to say it
in
in a
coffee
book,
mugs.
but
That's all I go to these shows for. I get coffee mugs. NEC, I just come back with coffee mugs. I get told we have too many coffee mugs, but no.
no such thing.
Wrong. There's no such thing as too many coffee
No
mugs.
such thing. What if one of them breaks? What if all of them? What if all but two break?
What if one of them is in your hand luggage?
That
on its way to you from Aarhus Airport. Please be here soon. I need a shower.
It won't be.
I hope so.
Do you really need a shower though? Yeah, you probably do.
I should probably go and have a look around all these rigs in a minute as well, just to say hello and
Yeah.
put some faces to names.
Yeah, you should probably get someone to swap over. Where's Lewis again?
Where's Lewis?
I can't see.
You'll be commentating on your own.
Oh no, I don't want to do that though. Where is Lewis? I honestly can't see him. Oh no, he's over there. In the middle.
In the middle.
Yeah, speaking to Flag to Flag.
Ah. I better go speak to Flag to Flag, 'cause I know a couple of them.
And Nick is up there sorting out some PCs. But yes, I'm on my own now because you've decided to go away. You terrible, terrible person. Oh, you'll be back eventually. You'll be back eventually. Yeah. Hmm? Yeah. But at the moment, on the server, racing, well, I say racing, practicing. Oh no, there's another car going out. The Pro Sim car is going out, the Hyper car. Pretty much entirely white. I don't actually think there's any other colour. Well, white is definitely the primary colour. The black is only there for sponsors, I think. It's a very, very simple, very, very clean livery for the Pro Sim 007. Having a look at who else is there. Number 13 Rare Endurance team is there as well. An orange and black LMP2, a lovely, lovely colour there. And at least the driver of number 13, I'm not exactly sure who it is at the moment, and I would tell you who drives in the number 13 squad, but my notes, not with me at the moment. I'll bring them tomorrow, it'll be fine. Making their way through the Porsche cars now through Corvette, the final left-hander, the almost flat out, well no, it is flat out in these prototype cars, almost flat out in GT cars. And then through the Ford Ducanes to finish off the lap. You've got to make sure that you don't, you aren't overzealous on these curbs, because otherwise it'll ruin not only your current lap but your next one as well. But yes, here at the EWC in Viborg, quite a lot of rigs here now. We'll certainly see some more come out in the morning, but there's a lot of rigs now here. And it's always very interesting to see what sort of technology each team has, what sort of wheel they've got, what sort of seat they've decided to go for, what sort of pedals they've got. Of course, whether they've decided to go for a single screen, treble screen. I think some of them have curved screens as well, actually. But how good is a curved screen? Is it better than a triple screen? That's a question that that's something that's always very personal. Is well, because obviously a curved screen and treble screens are much better than single screens, but it really is personal preference as to whether a curved screen or a triple screen is better. The 166 ID SimSport car is on the server as well. It's one of the GT cars. I think it's a GT3 if memory serves me correctly. That's right, the 166 ID SimSport. I'm not quite sure about the sister car, the 177, but the 166 car certainly has some fighting words written on the back of it. So just watch out, and the back end may swing out. Of course, that back end swinging out, lovely, lovely for drifting. Again, and good for style points, as we said, but perhaps not for speed, perhaps not for outright speed. Rear Endurance making the way off Mulsanne corner, a very, very important corner, Mulsanne, because it leads onto the straight that's flat out all the way up to Indianapolis. So it's incredibly important that Mulsanne corner gets done correctly. Arnage corner also very important. Not only is it the slowest, it also goes onto a very long flat out straight, about 20-25 seconds or so between Arnage and the Porsche curves. And that really is what this circuit is about. It's about just nailing a few corners, the exits in particular of a few corners, and that will get you a very, very good lap time. But if you fail to hit one of those corners perfectly, well, you're going to lose the best part of half a second, maybe even a whole second, just because you haven't got on the throttle as early as you could have done. Many, many sponsors make the EEWC possible, and like we said before, here in Viborg, in the handball arena, yeah, I think you class this as an arena, in the handball arena, hopefully the first of many years here, an upgrade from previous years in middle part. It's so much space here. Of course, seats on the sides of the floor as well, just gives it a little bit more of a Colosseum vibe almost. And then we've got race control up there to the left along the top as I look at it, staring down on everyone, judging everyone. Always judging is the race control. Always judging. That's all that all race control does. Yes, the team is certainly a little bit quieter now than it was an hour or so ago.